Hi, we're now going to talk about the embroidery machine. This happens to be the Brother Pacesetter 8500 D. D stands for Disney. Brother has the exclusive rights for all of the Disney characters. We'll go ahead and turn the machine on. And we'll notice the screen here will activate, and you push there, and then it's giving you a little check to say embroidery arm is going to move, keep your hands away. So just push that and watch. Just make sure everything's out of the way of this. This is called the embroidery arm. If we took the arm off, it would then become a sewing machine. But because the arm is on, it is now an embroidery machine. So if we look up at the screen, the first two symbols are for the sewing machine. Notice that the arrow is right on the embroidery. This is normal embroidery. The next one down is embroidery edit. The next one down is if you had any questions about the machine, you can go there for tutorials. This pocket lets you save to memory. It's like putting the design in a pocket. So that's memory. If you were going to do multiple designs, you could push that and it would save it for you. So this machine does 3 different fonts, just plain, Times Roman, and block. It also does small designs, it does borders, it does large letters with a floral design on top, and it also does memory card and then the Disney menu. Let's talk about the memory card. We have several memory cards that you can put in the machine, and they go here on the side slot, but you have to make sure the machine is turned off first, then put the card in, then you can turn your machine off. When you're ready to take it out of the machine, turn the machine off and then take it out. There are lots of features, lots of different options you can do. Let's start with lettering. So we'll just select the lettering. We've got large, medium, small. We could push multicolor. That allows you to have the machine stop every letter, and you can change the color if you were doing a name or a phrase. Let's start with spelling Betty. We'll do capital B. You could do it all uppercase, or we then could go to lowercase. Maybe we want a smaller name, so we could also then switch it to medium or small, and then we can adjust that any size in between the large to the small. Now I'm going to go to lowercase and do my E, T, T, Y. So I've got it in small, but I could then change it if I wanted to. Now it's time to go into layout. And there are several things we can do here. If I want to see what it looks like, I hit image and it'll show the name. If I want to rotate it because I want to have it go a different direction so it'll fit better maybe in my hoop, I'll push the rotate button and we'll put Betty that direction. Now let's say we want to change the size of it. We could go into here and increase the size. You could just do it one at a time, or you can hold it down. It will double beep when it will not allow you to go any larger. Now let's look at a couple of things up here. This lets you know what size it will be in centimeters. This lets you know how many minutes it will take, and it's very important that you look at the hoop sizes. Notice that this one is faded. Because I've increased the size, I can no longer use that extra small hoop. I now have to go to my small hoop. So for fun, let's take it back down, a little smaller size, until that reappears. Now I could use the smallest hoop. When we do our designs for our class, we'll be using the smallest hoop to do a small design. So that's very important to pay attention to that, to make sure the size and design you've selected will work for that small hoop, or else you'll need to move to a larger hoop. Center and start. Sometimes students get mixed up with this and think that's the start button, but that is not. Usually we center our designs, but if you wanted the needle to start at a certain point in your fabric, then you would change it to start, and then you would position your design for that. But we'll go ahead and change it back to the center. I'm finished changing my size, so now we'll push the button and size change. Now we need to make sure that I don't want to change here. We'll do our image. I could go diagonal, I could move it to the left, I could move it to the right, or I could go back to center. Anytime you can keep it at center, that really will help keep your design centered. Now we'll go to return if I needed to readjust something, but we don't need to, so we'll go back to layout. We're about ready to put the hoop in. I want you to notice that the arm did come up now closer to the stitching area. You raise your presser foot to its highest position so you can put the hoop underneath. This particular machine has 2 little pins and 2 holes here. Make sure you center the holes over the pins and snap them both down at the same time, but gently, and then gently just wiggle it to make sure it's in all the way. Check your design. Am I really in the center? Well, that's really close. If I needed to, I could tweak the arrows, move it up a little bit, move it over a little bit, just to make sure I'm centered with my marking right here. We're not quite ready to start yet. We need to do a trial. So we come over here, push the trial button, and it will outline the size of our design. This is really important to make sure that your design is not too large for the hoop. Checking that once again, and just to let you see how large that design will be. Now we are ready to begin our stitching. This is our start and stop button. It will stay red until you lower the presser foot. Once the presser foot is lowered, the light turns to green. We're going to start it, but then we're going to stop it after 5 stitches. Stop it. We want to cut our thread tail so that it doesn't get caught into the design. Then go ahead and push the start button again and let your stitch begin.